take you to the broadcast of It's Time with Reverend Nathaniel W. Martin. Here's Reverend Martin.
All right, thank you, Dr. Blackwell. And let me say Hotep Habaragani to my Africana Studies colleagues and contemporaries and seekers after the truth. And let me hasten to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, but certainly never good night and never ever goodbye, because I've always personally found goodbyes to be traumatizing. My name is the Reverend Nathaniel Wayne Martin. I'm the pastor of the New Life Institutional Baptist Church here in the city of Los Angeles. And we are located at 8916 South Main Street. And we're being hosted by our sister church, the Shiloh Missionary Christian Church, which is pastored by my good friend, the Reverend Dr. Della F. Hollinas. And whenever you're in the area or up by Main Street and it's Sunday or Wednesday or Friday night, come on by. We'll be so happy to see you coming, see your face in the place, which is a canal that is going around. And we welcome you to any and all of our services. This broadcast is a social justice broadcast. We not so much up on the hoopalistics. We want to deal with the irrational and through a spiritual prism of the problems that are facing us, which are confronting us in this world at the present time. And so, like I said, not so much hoopalistics as a calm, rational look at the problems that are confronting us. And you've heard me say it before, and it bears repeating, Haiti just can't catch a break. Now they're saying that the country has descended into banditry, gangs, and you know the bells and whistles that go off in your mind when you hear the word gangs and what you associate gangs with. But I was looking on the YouTube there at the man that they call Barbecue. Turns out he was a police officer, and that he upheld the status quo that he is now confronting. And of course, the Prime Minister of Haiti, last name was Henry, which means Henry in English. Well, who was not elected, but was appointed by the United States. And remember, the United States is as much a colonial power when it comes to Haiti as any of the other established and well-known and acknowledged colonial powers, meaning France, Germany, Britain, because Britain has a lot of colonies over there in the what we call the Caribbean. Britain, France, Spain, all of those were colonizers, but the United States never called itself a colonizer. But yet it has done its policies have been colonizing policies after the French were defeated in 1804. They turned around and came back in 1825 and told the then leader of Haiti that unless you pay us $5 million for the lost revenue that you cost us when you threw off slavery, then we are going to resume the war. And the French warships were menacingly there out in the harbor. And so the poor fellow had to make an agreement to pay France the $5 million. And they did not finish paying off that debt from 1825 until 1947, the year I was born. And as I've said on other broadcasts, they could have been, Haiti could have been dealing with its health situation, its housing situation, its food situation, all of those, if they had had an opportunity not to have to be put upon by this extortion. And also, Papa Doc Duvalier was an American plant. His son, Baby Doc, he took over after Papa Doc died, was an American plant. And so many thousands of Haitians were murdered and killed in that during those regime years. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Haiti was occupied by the United States Marines beginning in 1915, and that occupation didn't end until 1934. And mind you, when Haiti had thrown off the French colonial powers, Haiti wrote its own constitution, and that constitution said that no white man could own property, land in Haiti. All right, and what happened was that when the United States bullied its way into Haiti under some false pretense, no less a personality than Franklin Delano Roosevelt personally convened the Congress of the Haitian Congress, and at gunpoint rewrote that Constitution to take that clause out of the Constitution to allow the Haitian Constitution, remind you, to allow Americans and the French and the British to own property in Haiti. So that's why you have the two classes. You have the group that's the ruling crowd, and then you got the masses of other people. And please believe me, that ruling class is living very well. You talk about Port-au-Prince, but they don't talk about that area that is occupied by the ruling class. And they have their own estates, their own villas, their own police force, and their own security teams, and they're living large and living well. And like I said, Haiti cannot catch a break. You would think a United States occupation would have been benign, but no, it was not benign. First of all, when they went into the country, the country of Haiti, they went straight to the bank and took $15 million out of the bank that day and brought it back and put it in the bank here in the United States on Wall Street. And like I said, Haiti has always been hampered and hindered, stopped and blocked in all of its attempts and efforts to have a cohesive society, a cohesive government, ever since it was victorious, as I said, over the French. Remember that when in 1804, when the Haitians defeated the French, well, that was at the height of the United States slave trade. And so naturally the United States was not going to recognize any black country that had thrown off slavery, because they didn't want that poison to get in the slaves over here. And so those are preliminary observations that I wanted to make. And there is a book about, it's not written by Smedley Butler, but it is about Smedley Butler, because Smedley Butler, who was the general in the United States Marine, was instrumental in attacking Haiti, and he was instrumental in attacking China, and he was instrumental in attacking the Philippines. And what I mean by instrumental, I mean taking down the governments and shooting their way into the countries and setting up governments rather, putting in puppets in the long run, which were favorable to the United States. Remember, the United States had what you call the Monroe Doctrine, which said that the United States felt it had a right to be involved in the affairs of these other countries around and about the United States of America. And so the destabilization of governments, well, that's a homegrown product. We exported that. Whether you're talking about, as I said, Nicaragua or any of those other Central American countries, Mexico also, and Cuba, because we tried quite a few times to conquer Cuba. And when Fidel Castro came along and kicked all of the gangsters out of Cuba and nationalized all of the industries and companies that the United States oligarchs had established in Cuba, then that's when the United States became angry and attempted unsuccessfully to try to overthrow Castro. I believe there was 660 odd attempts against the life, and I'm talking about straight up assassination plots against Fidel Castro. And but getting back to Haiti, if they were doing that in Cuba, what do you think they were doing in Haiti, where they actually had a foothold to further the ends, not of democracy, no, but the interest, as George W. Bush spoke about. We have interests, U.S. interests. And so they have always held a economic chokehold and a blockade on Haiti. And that is why so many Haitians try to come to the United States, because of that diminishing quality of life, the conditions over there. But now let me get back to Mr. Jimmy Cherize, or Barbecue as he is known. As we said, he was a policeman there in Haiti, and he was standing up to protect the status quo. But he began to see that the poor people, were not being well served by the police. No, the police were treating them harshly, and their crops, their products were being hurt. And so now he has joined forces with all of the gangs on the island. And remember, a lot of these folks are not gangs. They are people who have been turned out of the military. And just like in Iraq, when the Ba'ath Party was kicked out after the Americans conquered Iraq, well, where were those Ba'ath Party people supposed to go? They still had their guns, they still had their tanks, and so they became the equivalent of a gang, and those were the ones that were fighting the Americans. Why? Because the Americans had fired them, had made them unemployed and unemployable. So what do you think? You think people are not going to try to eat and clothe their families and buy their houses and get a standard of living? Why, you are very naive if you think like that. And so that is why there was so much unrest in Iraq, and that is why there's so much unrest in Haiti, because Jimmy Cherize wants, they want clean water, they want food, they want access to education, they want decent housing. And these are just, minimal demand. Minimal demand. So you remember that the United Nations, when in 2010, when the cholera epidemic struck Haiti, that cholera epidemic was the, what you call that, a predicate nominative. It was the UN soldiers who went upstream and established their bases, but they threw all of their waste, all of their bodily fluids in the river, and the river flowed downstream. And so no wonder the people downstream got cholera. That was the gift that the United Nations brought to Haiti. Also, in 2010, I want to remind you and bring to your attention that Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State during that time. And according to Jemima Pierre, Hillary Clinton left the Middle East and came directly to Haiti to tell the Haitian people, or the ruler of Haiti, that they had that the United States had installed, that if he didn't want to wind up like Mr. Aristide, that he needed to let the wages stay low, and they needed to let the oligarchs alone, because the leader, the prime minister, the president of Haiti, was trying to get some of the things that the country needed, but the United States does not believe in giving other countries an even share of their own sovereignty. We preach sovereignty. We preach that we are a sovereign nation, but we don't want Haiti to have sovereignty, just like we don't want any other country that we are not getting the benefit of their resources to have sovereignty. We preach sovereignty, but we don't really believe in sovereignty. And so that was under Hillary Clinton. I was throwing shade at her husband, Bill Clinton, for the Clinton Foundation, how they ripped off Haiti and defrauded Haiti and redirected the billions of dollars of earthquake aid that the American people gave willingly to help Haiti recover. That the Clinton Foundation and Mrs. Hillary Clinton have been living large off of most of those funds since 2010. And now that Haiti is a defeated country, a fallen state, in other words, now the vultures all over the world that helped to set up this condition are now coming in for the kill. And that's where we are at present. And like I said, Haiti, since it defeated the French, has not been able to catch a break. Haiti originally was called the island of Hispaniola, and the Haitians are over here on this eastward side, and the Dominican Republic is over here on the westward side. Now the westward side is thriving, it is prospering, it is growing, because those people there are basically white. If they ain't white, they claim white. But the people over here in Haiti, no, they're black, dark black, and but the ruling class in Haiti is not black. Those that are not Levantine are actually white, and they are the ruling power in the country. Everything that happens for their benefit. And when the masses of the people demand these resources, demand clean food, clean water, decent food, access to education, and the like things, good housing. Because remember, ever since that earthquake, which killed a massive amount of people, all those houses were destroyed. And Mr. Bill Clinton was supposed to have spearheaded the rebuilding of those houses, but here we are in 2024, there ain't no houses. What happened? It don't cost as much to build a house in Haiti as it costs to build it in Miami, Florida. So how come no houses? And of course the answer is greed. Greed. We have done what you call regime change so many times in that country. Remember, it was Mr. Aristide who was the first democratically elected leader of Haiti in I think in 1990 to 1994, and 9 months after he was put in office, one of the people in Haiti rose up against him and mounted a coup and threw him out. And the coup was supported by, of course, our good friends at the CIA, which didn't like the way things were going because they did not want they didn't like Aristide. They were putting their money on another man, but the populace, Lavalas Party as they were called, chose Aristide. And so the CIA got behind a person there, his name escapes me right now, but just like what they did in Iran in 1953, where it was a CIA-backed coup that overthrew the democratically elected leader of Iran. His name was Mossadegh in Iran. So likewise, they had done and accomplished that same thing, condition in Haiti. And Aristide had to flee for his life, and thousands of Haitians started trying to come to the United States. Bill Clinton was president at that time. Excuse me. And so in order to stem that tide of refugees that was leaving the island of Haiti and coming through on the nightly news there, the ships being turned around and the people being allowed to drown, because they were only accepting light-skinned people from Cuba at that time. And the U.S. Navy would see the Haitians trying to come, and they would block them from coming. But if it was a boat from Cuba, well, they would expedite allowing them to get into the limits of the United States, and then, of course, they would give them all rights and privileges. This you can check out on TV if you have a mind to. But the policy is still the same. You remember just a few months ago how the Haitians trying to come across the border there to come into Texas were being savagely whipped by the Border Patrol agents. That's just no lie. This was, I think, just last year, if not the year before. And because the United States have a zero tolerance policy for Haitian people, but they open it up for France, Germany, every other country has a welcome mat except Haiti, and every other country has a welcome mat rolled out for them except, there's a quota on the Nigerians and other countries in Africa. There's a quota on some people from Somalia, even though Somalia is a failed state because of the interference of the Western powers or the Euro powers. It's funny, they always say they spread in civilization, but it looks like what they spread is defeat and poverty and these type of things. So I think you need to look again. There's a at the conditions rather, or at the report. You just can't take the propaganda at face value that the news media is putting out about Haiti, because believe me, our news media has really been a bulletin board for the CIA propaganda. We've been a bulletin board for all of the wars that the United States have fought long before Vietnam, which they told us we were winning every day. Every day we were winning in Vietnam. We just sent 100,000 more troops and we're going to win. We just kept escalating until we just escalated ourselves out of that country. And General Giap defeated the Americans, and we were left licking our wounds. But remember, our news media told us every night on the nightly news, in the New York Times, and all of the other printed press medium at that time, that we were winning. Oh, how we were winning. And they are telling us that now about the genocide occurring in Gaza and in Rafah. And the wrinkle is it that even Netanyahu has come out and said he's not for no two-state solution. He only wants one state, the Jewish state, no Palestinian state. And he says, I'm not going, he has acknowledged and told Biden to his face that he's not going to let there be no two-state solution. So what is the United States going to do? Are we going to continue to support this genocide, or this extermination, or this one-sided massacre that is occurring before our very eyes? Are we going to adhere to the never again theory that was espoused by the Jewish people when they came out of the ovens of Dachau and all of those German extermination camps? We said never again. But now our eyes are wide open, and we're looking at a massacre. We're looking at butchery. We're looking at a slaughter. But let me not get off on that. The point I'm making, again, is that you cannot just look at the news media or even listen to the nightly news and think that you have got the full story. You're going to have to do some due diligence on your own part and check behind the facts of the people that are reading off the teleprompters, because you don't know whether they're telling the truth or they're lying. Remember, there are no reporters sitting giving you the news. They are hired people. They are hired for their looks. They're hired for their appearance. They're hired for their voices, and they therefore have to be taken with a grain of salt. All right? All right. I feel my time. Is it over? All right. I didn't get my 5-minute warning today, but I want you to know that things are happening fast, and you need to keep yourself abreast and make yourself as informed as possible. And as I get out of here, if you're working on a job and they don't want to pay you, don't waste your life, don't waste your career, don't waste your energy, don't waste your time. If they don't want to pay you, take Reverend Martin's advice and don't work for them. Thank you, Doc. We're out of here. Love you.